Hey everyone, it's the Nitty Professor coming at you with something a little bit different today. Wanted to make my fellow indie authors aware of a scam that's been gaining steam and that is very sophisticatedly engineered, at least based on my experience. Now, you have a book out there. It's a wonderful book. It's listed in, wherever you can list it to reach your readers. It's a great book. You worked hard, and somebody's going to find it, and they're going to send you an email. And they're going to build themselves as a publisher from a respected publishing company that you recognize right away. And you're going to be like, this sounds pretty nice. You're going to start digging into it. You're going to read how the book you wrote has lots of wonderful qualities. Whatever you put into it, right? Could be thoroughly researched or really engaging, emotional depth, really interesting characters. It's going to have the name of your book. It's going to have details that seem pretty plausible, that, your book got read and that it's being appreciated for all the great qualities that you put into it because you worked hard and you produced a product that you're proud of. You wouldn't have put it out there if you weren't, right? You probably did extensive editing, got some nice critically thinking friends to give you some comments, and you looked at comps, you did your reading. It's a great book, and the email's going to tell you that and going to be like, darn right, exactly. That's exactly what I accomplished. You're going to go to the bottom and you're going to look and you're going to find the name of the publisher, the name of the person representing the publisher, and you're going to look them up and you're going to say, hell yeah, that's the real deal. That's a genuine publisher. This is the website. The link is clean, and they're going to wonder if you're represented or not. And you're probably going to write back because, you're going to say, wow, this is, everything lines up. This looks like a legitimate inquiry, and I deserve this recognition. It's hard. We all know as indie writers that it's difficult to get a trade publisher to look at you. It's difficult to get an agent to look at you. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's like trying to get into med school. There just aren't enough spots in those med schools. There just aren't enough agents out there to represent good authors who deserve representation. And you deserve it. So you see this email and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, this sounds like something I should really look into. So you start emailing, you're going to email back and forth. So this is what we call social engineering. And it's kind of akin to some of the romance scams. Recently, I saw a news report a couple months ago. A young man went to Nigeria to meet the romance scammers that took tens of thousands of dollars from his mother. And she was so emotionally involved with these. They were 14-year-old boys that, it really broke her heart when she finally recognized that all the money that she had given to the scammers was given to fake people, to these young men who had established and trained to establish an emotional rapport with her. And I think this is something very similar. This is like romance scam author style, and it's really been, based on my research, it's been proliferating over the past since April. Now, there have been scams before where publishers are impersonated, agents are impersonated, but I think the degree of sophistication is getting good enough to where they're gonna trap more people. They're gonna trap more people. What's gonna happen next is when you share that, no, you don't have an agent, because guess what? They're very hard to get. Maybe, 1% of authors, probably less than that, actually lands an agent. And again, there are way more deserving authors out there. In fact, I would venture to say that a lot of agents are missing out on the people that they might be able to, make a big splash with. But that's an aside. So they're going to say, okay, well, we can recommend an agent to you. We can recommend an agent. They're going to give you a name and an agency and an email. And you're going to look up that name and you're going to be like, is this for real? You know, and you're going to find, yep, that's a real agent and it's a real agency. And even the website is real. And so you're going to start thinking to yourself, I better, I should pursue this. Why would I turn this opportunity down? Even if it's just like a chance, it's like a blip, I owe it to myself to follow through with this. That's what the scammers are counting on. So how can you distinguish this realistic, plausible scenario from something that is fraudulent? And that's the tricky part. But there's one giveaway that you need to keep in mind, and that is to really study the email addresses. The email addresses. Legitimate publishers and agents typically are going to have their domain name as a part of the email address. So it might say, let's say, john.doe at blah, 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 letteragency.com. Or jane.doe at blah, 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 publisher.com. But in this case, you are looking at email addresses and you're back checking them because you want to be sure, right? It's like, I don't want to get sucked into something here that's going to give me a whole bunch of hope that's not real and possibly even drain my pocket. If the email ends with some common extension, gmail.com, AOL.com, yahoo.com, that's your giveaway. That's your giveaway right there. So, indie writers beware. If you get an email where all the dots line up and you're thinking, yeah, these people are covering their bases. They're not even like trying to reel me in right away. They're saying I should get an agent. Absolutely. Then they're offering me. They make it look really good. They have done their homework to show you that you have nothing to fear, that you can trust them. And they have complimented you in a way that sells you on their appreciation for your work. But if you look at the email address, and what you might want to do is go the step of looking that email address up in AI and asking, is this legit? And where things stand now, you should be able to get an honest answer. I don't know what's going to happen down the road. These scammers get more and more sophisticated. But for now, I think if you just check the email addresses, you will be safe. And like to close my little excursion here. I normally talk about knitting and boots, but I'm a writer, so I wanted to share this warning with you guys because I was approached by these scammers, and it was very persuasive, very persuasive. You guys are awesome. You know what you have accomplished with your creativity. Now, we can always get better, and that's why personally I'm always looking for feedback. I look at my reviews. I ask good authors for pointers. I read comps. I deliberately go out there. I get LGBTQ romance and I read them. And, we're doing what we need to do to offer our audience something that is beautiful, that is worthwhile, that deserves to be out there. And there just aren't enough agents and trade publishers to accommodate the wealth of creativity that is there. But there's absolutely no reason to feel deterred or to lose hope, because now we have all the tools we need in order to reach an audience. It takes a little extra work, and I'll probably never make much money off of my writing, but for me, it'd be great, right? But, what I want to do is reach readers who, for whom my vision is meant, who can benefit from that artistic expression and gain joy and encouragement and what's the word I'm looking for? Affirmation from what I'm writing. That's my goal as an author. So keep doing what you're doing, but look out, because those scammers may try to find your weak spot, your desire to get more recognition. They may try to seize on your doubt and bolster your self-esteem with regard to your creative output. Don't let them. Believe in yourself. You don't need the approval of 14-year-old Nigerians who are trying to make a buck. Just pat yourselves on the back and get out there and reach your readers and keep doing what you're doing. If you guys have any similar stories you want to share, I think the more we can get this message out, the better. I've seen people say you should reach out to the FBI. I'm sorry, but our FBI is led by Kash Patel today, so I don't think that's going to do a lot of good. But if we keep each other in the loop with regard to this social engineering and how it works, then we're doing each other a favor. So spread the word, share your experiences, and take heed, and keep writing. Y'all take care. Ciao.